Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityor Ma Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti 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 Om. May the Divine lead us from the unreal to the real, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace.
This song is written by Sharatchandra Chakravarti. You are the Brahman, O Ramakrishna. You are Krishna. You are Rama. You are the supreme goal of all spiritual seekers. You are the formless Brahman. You came to this earth in human form, who is pure, conqueror of lust and gold. Your compassion is limitless. You are supreme friends of the poor. Tumi Brahma Rama Tumi Krishna, Tumi Ram, Tumi Brahma Rama Krishna, Tumi Krishna, Tumi Ram, Tumi Vishnu, Tumi Jishnu, Prabhu Vishnu, Pranaram, Tumi Brahma Rama Krishna, Tumi Krishna, Tumi Ram, Tumi Vishnu, Tumi Jishnu, Prabhu Vishnu, Pranaram, Tumi Brahma Rama Krishna, Tumi Adi O Adharo, Tumi Brahma Nirakaro, Tumi Adi O Adharo, Tumi Brahma Nirakaro, Tumi Nar Rupadharo, Tumi Dhar Bijito Kanaka Kam, Tumi Brahma Rama Krishna, Tumi Krishna, Tumi Ram, Tumi Brahma Rama Krishna, Tumi Adi O Adharo, Tumi Brahma Nirakaro, Tumi Adi O Adharo, Tumi Brahma Nirakaro, Tumi Nar Rupadharo, Tumi Nar Rupadharo Bijito কনক কাম তুমি ব্রহ্ম রাম কৃষ্ণ তুমি কৃষ্ণ তুমি রাম তুমি ব্রহ্ম রাম কৃষ্ণ অপার করুণা সিন্ধু তুমি নাথ দীনবন্ধু অপার করুণা সিন্ধু তুমি নাথ দীনবন্ধু যাচে ইন্দু কৃপা বিন্দু যাচে ইন্দু কৃপা বিন্দু চরণে করি প্রণাম তুমি ব্রহ্ম রাম কৃষ্ণ তুমি কৃষ্ণ তুমি রাম তুমি বিষ্ণু তুমি জিষ্ণু প্রভু বিষ্ণু প্রাণারাম তুমি ব্রহ্ম রাম কৃষ্ণ তুমি ব্রহ্ম রাম কৃষ্ণ তুমি ব্রহ্ম রাম কৃষ্ণ।
I'm reading from the book Glimpses of a Great Soul, a portrait of Swami Sharadananda by Swami Asheshananda. This is Swami Sharadeshananda's reminiscence. In boyhood, we were influenced by the national movement for freedom and progress of the motherland. Reading Swami Vivekananda's books, we became determined to devote our life to the service of suffering humanity. At the beginning of monastic life, that idea was predominant in our hearts. Coming in close contact with revered Swami Sharadananda, one day I asked him his opinion of engaging myself in some form of activity for the upliftment of the backward poor people or some other kind of social work. He affectionately advised me first to mold and shape my own character properly, as without a good character, good work of any sort is not possible. Once the authorities of Belur Math decided to send out a young monk for his undisciplined and ill behavior. Disobeying instructions, he used to go out now and then. He came from a respected rich family and was himself highly educated and had held a high post in government service. His appearance was beautiful with a sweet voice and a good manner. When he first joined the order, he was loved by all, but slowly his weaknesses became apparent. He was not happy with coarse food and clothing, nor with the hard work and strict discipline of the monastery. He began to go out to rich householder devotees' houses for good food and comforts. He also began to mix with other outside people. Trying to correct him, the authorities warned him again and again, but he was unable to correct himself. Then it was decided that he should be sent back to his relatives. For this, the approval of Swami Sharadananda was necessary, and when the monk was taken before him, I was present there at that time. Hearing everything and seeing him, the Swami was moved very much. His heart melted with compassion, and like a mother, in a choked voice and with much affection, he told the monk very tenderly, "You stay with me, my boy. Where will you go? Where will you go? You stay with me. I will arrange all comforts for you, supply you with everything. There is no more need for you to go anywhere." Seeing Swami's affection for the guilty monk, his eagerness for his welfare, and his attempt to correct him by keeping him near, I became overwhelmed and wondered how a man could be so kind and compassionate. He encouraged me to study and perform spiritual practices, and he gave instructions accordingly. Also, he encouraged me to serve the needy, saying, "What you do for your own enjoyment and happiness, that will be the cause of your bondage. But what you do for the benefit and happiness of others, that will lead you to the way of your liberation." I observed that he used to serve the needy, neglecting his own comforts, sometimes even risking his own health. At the beginning of my spiritual practice, once I sought his instruction as to which would be more beneficial for me, concentration of my mind in a divine form or discrimination, deep thinking on metaphysical finer truths, self-analysis. He affectionately told me that discrimination and self-analysis would be more beneficial for me. Another occasion, I asked him the real meaning of God vision, realization. Is it seeing something with the physical eye outside, or feeling something inside our own self? He said, it is the realization, feeling something inside our inner self. But when we see something with our eye or hear something with our ear, we become firmly convinced about its existence. But inner realization gives us an even greater conviction of the true eternal reality. That is realization, God vision. Here is reading.
Now a short period of meditation. Good morning, friends. Today's subject of discussion is Manifestation of Advaita. Advaita is a non-duality, the oneness, feeling of oneness, being established in oneness, oneness of existence. No plurality, no multiplicity. That whatever plurality is seen is the manifestation of that non-duality. Advaita being perceived Advaita as Dvaita. So when one gets established in the knowledge of non-duality, which is the knowledge of the self, the Atman, our true nature, is one without a second. It is non-dual. There are no two souls or two Atmans. There is only one Atman, which is also called Paramatman or Ishvara or Brahman, same thing. And that one Atman appears as varieties of in this creation. Who causes that variety? The power that makes one non-dual thing appear as many, as I, you, he, they. That power is called Maya or Mahamaya. That Shakti, that great power which can make one thing appear and perceived as many. And that is keeping us in ignorance. That's why that power which makes one into many is called avidya, ignorance, delusion, maya, not knowing the reality. So, if a person is established in Advaita, in non-duality, how will he manifest that quality of his own nature? Our own nature is Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta. It is eternally pure. It is eternal wisdom and awareness, consciousness, and it is eternally free, not dependent on anything. It is not slave to anything. It is totally free. That is our nature. And when one realizes that nature, how does he manifest on this world? When he lives among the multiplicity, is there any sign that is he any different from the people who are in ignorance? He also or she also lives, eats, sleeps. So what is the attitudinal difference of that person? What is the thoughtful difference of that person? What is the awareness difference of that person? This question was asked by Arjuna to Sri Krishna. Sthita pragyasya ka bhasa. What is the behavior of a sthita pragya, that realized soul, which is established in non-duality, in Advaita? Arjuna calls that sthita pragya, or Brahmanistha, or Gunatita, Trigunatita. All means same thing, being established in Brahman. Today's song was very nice. It was saying, Sri Ramakrishna, you are the Brahman. You are that one without a second. You are that Advaita. You are that non-duality. And you are the one who was Rama and who was Krishna. So that non-duality appears as all this whole creation is that non-duality. The topic today is in particular a reference to a great saint of our order, whose birthday, according to lunar calendar, was on 16th of January this year. Swami Saradananda, the first General Secretary of the Ramakrishna order. He was a realized soul. How was he different from others if we see life? And in his works, this Advaita was manifesting. He was manifesting God, Brahman, in his work. He was manifesting non-duality in his behavior, in his thought. That was the one you just saw. Tremendous love. Tremendous, unbounded love that is manifested when one is established in Advaita. As we see in Holy Mother, as we see in Swami Vivekananda. All that is a sign of being established in Advaita and manifesting Advaita in their life. tremendous love. Just we beautifully, very relevant portion was read by during the reading here. And the song was so apt for today's talk. So, Sri Krishna answers to that. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan. One who is established in non-duality, he has no selfish desire at all. All desires have been given up, are lost. He has nothing to get, nothing he wants. Whatever desire are in human being, non-realized person, ignorant person, person of knowledge has no desire, selfish desire of any sort. So what happens when all desire are gone? Atmani eva atmana tusta. He is always contented, always happy. Nothing can make that person unhappy or sad. Atmani eva atmana tusta. That is the sign of Sthita Prajna, says Sri Krishna. We'll find how these things are manifested in Swami Sharadananda. And dukkeshu anudvigna manaha sukheshu vigata spriha. When miseries come, he is unmoved. That person, he or she, realized soul, established in Advaita, that person doesn't care for all miseries that come. He is like an anvil, he is like a great wall, the great wall that can stand all the storm. Nothing happens to that. All misery, suffering, that all doesn't move that person. And sukheshu vigata spriya. He doesn't hanker for pleasures of life. He is not at all motivated by pleasures of life. And says, Vita, Raga, Bhaya, Krodha. Three things, Raga, Bhaya and Krodha. Raga is attachment, Bhaya is fear, and Krodha is anger. All these are gone from his or her life, that all that is gone, such a person, sthitadhi, established in, steady in intellect, that person is called Muni. That such Muni is called sthitadhi, or Sthita Prajna. So, quality is the attachment is conquered. And he has no fear. Nothing he is afraid of or she is afraid of. Fear is all gone. And when fear is not there, then anger is also not there. Anger and fear are related. Whenever we have some fear, then anger comes. Someone comes and says you something. So you feel your respect is being shattered. So insulted. Because of fear of not being insulted, fear of being insulted, you become angry upon that person. Fear of something you lose, you become worried for that person, for something, some situations. Like that, this person is free from fear and anger. Yas sarvatra anavisneha tattat prapya shubha shubham nabhinandati nadvesti. Whatever shubha or some auspicious thing or good thing comes, doesn't matter. A shubha comes, something that inauspicious comes, something undesirable comes. He is not at all worried for that. That is the sign of person established in Advaita. So when one is established in non-duality, how it is manifested? Manifested as great joy. So that's why Scripture describe atyantam sukham asnute. When you are established in Advaita, then you are in great bliss, atyantam, enormous, exceeding bliss that you experience. Ahar nisham brahma sukhe ramanta. That is the bliss of the knowledge of Brahman. And it is not that sometime we have, another time we don't have. Ahar nisham, says Shankaracharya. Such a person is always in blissful state. Day and night, that person is in blissful state. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, such a person, amanina manadena, doesn't care for his honor, respect, position, nothing. But he will give honor to other, respect to other. We find such thing in Swami Sharadananda. That's why we say he's manifesting the non-duality. And in the Gita it is said, it is such a state, that Advaita is such a state, yasmin sthito na dukkhena gurunapi vichalyate. Any sort of misery, suffering, pain will not move that person. Gurunapi dukkhena, extreme pain causing thing will also not bother that person. So that is the state of non-duality. And this is manifested in some great person. Many, we are taking the example of Swami Sharadananda today, but in many saintly person, that is what the saint is. Swami Sharadananda was born on December 23, 1865 in Kolkata. In a rich family. He was rich means middle class, upper middle class family. And he and his cousin also became the monk of the Ramakrishna order, direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. He was Sarat Chandra Chakravarti and his cousin was Swami Ramakrishnananda. So both were disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. And Swami Sharadananda was very quiet and gentle, not only when he became general secretary and he realized God after that, but from very boyhood. His very nature was very gentle, calm and quiet. People often thought he's not that intelligent, very wrongly they found. Sometimes very God-realized person are seem to be, oh, he doesn't know anything, like that it happens. They seem like that. From his young boyhood, he was very warm, loving and has very unselfish heart. When he was mere boy, was in the school, he found there was one working lady who caught cholera. And as the cholera was infectious disease, she was put on the roof and not cared. And when he found, then he gathered his friends and said, let us take care of that. So he arranged doctors, he arranged treatment for that lady, working lady servant of another person's house. Later on, she could not survive, she died. But after that also, he arranged for her antyeshti, last rites. That was the young boy who had so much feeling. If someone needed something and asked from their house, he was ready to share those things, give those things to others. That was his wonderful nature of loving towards other people. He met Sri Ramakrishna in October 1883. They all came to know Sri Ramakrishna by reading article on Sri Ramakrishna in English magazine, Indian Mirror newspaper, written by Keshav Chandra Sen, the Brahmo leader. And they were connected already to Brahmo Samaj. That is a great influence it was creating among the young people. And went to Sri Ramakrishna. And Sri Ramakrishna was impressed with them. And one day Sri Ramakrishna, while they were just talking, Sri Ramakrishna sat on the lap of this young boy, Sarat Chandra Chakravarti. And he said, I was seeing whether you can bear my weight or not, indicating the future work that he was destined to be, General Secretary, when he has to bear the weight of the whole order, which is considered as the body of Sri Ramakrishna. Whether he can manage that, the work of the Ramakrishna order as General Secretary. Sri Ramakrishna was tasting that time itself. See the planning of Sri Ramakrishna. When Sri Ramakrishna became sick in Kashipur, he came and started serving him. They all went with the Swami Vivekananda and group of Narendranath and group of his friends. He went to Artpur in 1886, December, and they took informal vows and decided they vowed to take the vows of sannyasa to renounce the world on that 24th December evening. And after that, after about 1 month, in 1887, in January perhaps, they all took sannyasa and became the monks of the Ramakrishna order. And started staying in Varanagar. He was that time student of medical college, Calcutta Medical College. Only 1 year almost he studied. After that he gave up. His father was very unhappy with his son, bright, studious, going to become a doctor, suddenly coming in the influence of Sri Ramakrishna and giving up everything. And he thought he's just misusing his life. But Swami Sharadananda was almost a lot ahead. One day, his father came, after they became sannyasa, his father came to Baranagar Math and found it is irreversible and he is happy, and he blessed him. Their family was very religious. Sri Ramakrishna said, Sharat was the direct disciple of Jesus Christ. He was in the group of Jesus Christ. He was perhaps Saint Peter of Jesus Christ. Saint Peter was also, Jesus gave the name Peter. He said, you are my Peter, rock on which I will build the church, where the rock that will bear the weight of the church, foundation of the church. Like that was Swami Sharadananda, who would bear the weight of the Ramakrishna order. And Swami Ramakrishnanandaji also was supposed to be the disciple of Jesus. Sri Ramakrishna in a vision, he had seen that. When Swamiji came to the West, his work started increasing. He founded the Vedanta Society of New York in 1894, and then started making the center, visiting England. Then he thought, I need someone assistant, so he called Swami Sharadananda to come to the West to help him. So he was not very willing to come to the West, but he asked Holy Mother, what should I do? Naren is asking me to go. Holy Mother said, you must go. Sri Ramakrishna will take care of you all the time. And he came to the West in 1896. And in March he left India and came into the West, first to England, then to USA. Swami Vivekananda sent to New York. In the New York, when he was giving lecture, Goodwin was there in his lecture. Goodwin, who later became the steno of Swami Vivekananda. He had already known Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda was not there at that time, he was in England. And Goodwin was laughing during his talk. So Sarat Maharaj thought, oh, something wrong in my speaking and all that. And then after the talk was over, he went to him and asked, why are you laughing when I was talking? Was there something mistake or wrong? He said, no, I was so surprised that you spoke so well. That's why I was admiring your speech. That's why I was laughing. That's what the thing. Sometimes we often miscalculate the thing. You see, thing can be the expression of appreciation when one laughs or smiles. Often we take someone smiles, looks at you and smiles, unknown person. Why are you laughing at me? Did I do something wrong? What is that behavior? It may be that person is happy seeing you. Why can't we think in that way? So like that, this person told. Now Swami Vivekananda started Ramakrishna order. When he went back, he started Belur Math, and then he thought the work of Belur Math has to be, the burden of the organization has to be on some such shoulder that can bear that. And he knew that story that Sri Ramakrishna had said, and he knew Swami Sharadananda. He said, you have to take the responsibility of General Secretary of the order. So Swami Vivekananda called him back, and he arrived back in Calcutta in 1898. Only 2 years he was in the West. So from 1898 to 1927, for nearly 3 decades, he was the General Secretary of the order. The budding organization, facing so many challenges, oppositions, ridicule, but he held it so wonderfully because he was established in Advaita. That's why he could bear all the things. And also he wrote the great master, the life of Sri Ramakrishna. Swami Vivekananda was requested by Girish Ghosh. Swamiji said, no, I cannot do that. But Swami Sharadananda took it over to write the life of Sri Ramakrishna. He had to gather information from many people and wrote in Bengali, Sri Ramakrishna Kathamrita, which was later translated by Swami Jagadananda and now it is newly translated by Swami Chetanananda of St. Louis. So, Sri Ramakrishna and his divine play. So he wrote that while looking after the Holy Mother, he took care of Holy Mother from December 1902 to December 1920. For long 19 years, he was taking care of Holy Mother and her all family members, whoever was living with her, and all other people that were taking care of Holy Mother, Jogin Ma, Golap Ma, Radhu, Nalini, Maku, all this whole Swami Saradanandaji was trying to find financial help for them. They are moving from Jairambati to Kolkata, they are going to pilgrimage. All Swami Saradananda is to manage the whole thing. Besides writing the great book on Sri Ramakrishna and other books also he wrote, and also the General Secretary of the Order. All this he did so wonderfully. He was an ideal karma yogi. Swami Nikhilanandaji says, he quotes about Swami Saradananda that he was like Apuryamanam Achala Pratishtham Samudramapah Pravishanti Advat. He was like the ocean in which all the rivers flow into. But so much water goes into the ocean, but the ocean remains immovable. It doesn't rise in its water level. That was the nature of Swami Saradananda. So much of things, work, plans, programs, problems coming into him, he was calm like ever, never agitated. He was like Ganesha. Once Sri Ramakrishna was telling them the ideal of Ganesha, that Ganesha is so much devoted to parents. And then Sarat Maharaj, Sarat Chandra Chakravarti told that, oh, Ganesha is my ideal, I also love. Sri Ramakrishna says, no, Ganesha is not your ideal. Your ideal is Shiva. He said, your ideal is Shiva. All renunciation, all knowledge, meditation, Brahma Jnana. Yogi, that is your ideal. Your ideal is Shiva, and I am your Shakti. The power that you will need to manifest that Advaita, duality, I will provide you that power, that Shakti. I am your Shakti, says Sri Ramakrishna to Swami Saradananda. Once Swami Saradananda, because Holy Mother says he will be always protecting you, always with you. In India, Swami Saradananda was going in pilgrimage, and once he suddenly thought, Sri Ramakrishna is there. Holy Mother said, I also feel, but I should have proof for that. If tomorrow, he was going in the Himalayas, near Dehradun somewhere, and he said, if tomorrow in this remote place, if I get hot, garam, warm luchi, warm puri and halwa, puri and halwa, garam garam. I want warm. If I get that, then I will believe that Sri Ramakrishna is taking care. What sort of test always Sri Ramakrishna has to face and he has to fulfill. And there was no chance. It was a small market was there. He was roaming there. Suddenly shopkeeper comes. Oh, holy man, come here. He called. And sit down. I'll feed you some puri and halwa. He said, but I have some friends. Give me, I will share with them. He said, no, you sit down. I will feed you here. What this came. And he fed. And after that, Swami Saradanji said, so give me for my friends. He said, no, I will not give you anymore. He was testing Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna just did for him only. So like that, it was all the result of the test. Like that was the relationship with Sri Ramakrishna. Swami Saradananda passed away on 19th August 1927. He was amanina manadena. He never wanted any power, position. He was the first choice to become president of the order after Swami Brahmananda. Everybody wanted him to be the president of the order. He refused to go to that highest position of the Sangha. He said, Swami Vivekananda made me general secretary, I am fine with that. And that there, what Swami Shivananda became the second president of the order. Amanina, always that. Amanina manadena. during his general secretaryship, freedom fighters started joining the order. And freedom movement was very high in India. And government, the British government at that time, they took it offense to that. And they started saying that Ramakrishna Mission is somehow involved in the freedom movement. People, those freedom fighters used to have Swami Vivekananda's books, getting inspired by reading that. And some were giving up that movement, politics, and joining the order. They thought that way. And it was labeled as the organization that supports freedom fighters, in their language, terrorists. Then how to get rid of that? Donation stopped. People thought the government will be in the bad book of government, no donation, nothing. It was very difficult situation for the Ramakrishna order when government was against us. Holy Mother said to Saradananda, why don't you go to the governor and talk about our organization, that we are political, we are apolitical totally, we don't have any concern. Those who come to join our order, they give up the politics, they give up freedom fighting, and they come in the search of God to spiritualize their life and serve the humanity. And by Holy Mother saying, he went to the governor and said about the order, and governor listened to that, and he invited, Swami Saradananda invited him to Belur Math. And governor came to Belur Math. And when the governor, according to his thing, he was going upstairs in the temple, old temple in Belur Math, with shoes on. Saradananda stooped down, went down and opened the lace of that governor's shoes. General secretary of our order, he could have commanded any servant, any brahmachari, or he could have asked that person himself, could you put out your shoes? He would have done. No. So much of humility in this great person. Like opening your own shoes and opening the shoes of another person, same for Swami Saradananda, because he was established in Advaita. That was his calmness, and that was his giving honor to others. Once he was coming from Calcutta to Belur Math, crossing the river. And when they came, he had one hubble bubble, and that time the smoking was prevalent as a pastime or something. And in the mid-Ganga it came, big storm arose. The boat started rocking. People were all afraid of their life. Almost it was going to sink. It was rocking very heavily. Nothing could be done. And all were scared of their life. Swami Saradananda was sitting there, smoking hubble bubble, as if nothing had happened. He is calm, so calm. Then his another friend was there, Dr. Kanjilal. He was himself so much afraid. He was also devotee of Holy Mother. And he was so angry with Saradananda's calmness. He was angry upon the calmness of Saradananda and agitatedness of the Saradananda. How can a person could be so fearless, so unagitated in such a situation when death is imminent? He took that hubble bubble and threw that down in the Ganga. He wants everyone to be agitated. So Saradananda said, if I was smoking, would that calm the storm? It will be the same, whether you are agitated and troubled or you calm and quiet. Nothing could trouble him. Swami Vivekananda scolded many times. He never became upset by the scoldings of Swami Vivekananda. Then Swamiji used to say, what is your blood? Is it made up of sandfish? There is one sandfish, Bele Mach. That sunfish is sluggish, and it is never this sluggish fish. So you seem to be nothing agitated. Nothing can agitate you. Nothing can disturb you. That is what apuryamanam achala pratishtam samudramapa pravishanti advat. Tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve. Like that, when all the desires, all the responsibilities come into you and you are not affected by that, you are not agitated by that, tasmin kamas pravishanti yadvat sasanti mapnoti na kama kami. That person really attains to peace, which nothing can agitate, nothing can disturb, always established like the ocean. Swami Nikhilananda told this verse about Swami Sharadananda. He was like that, manifesting this expression of the Gita in his own life. Among the disciples of Swami Sharadananda, Swami Bhuteshananda is the one who has rose to the position of the president of our order. And like Swami Sharadananda, he was also very calm, very loving, very approachable, very learned. Wonderful combination of all that. Like Swami Sthita Prajna, non-dual expression, that Advaita expression, always in Swami Bhuteshananda also. So let me read something from Swami Bhuteshananda's reminiscence about Swami Sharadananda. Sharat Maharaj's physique was strong, robust, and a bit bulky. I have heard directly from Swami Akhandananda Maharaj that he, Sharadanandaji, was the strongest among the disciples of the Master. He had enormous physical strength, but it was never manifested outwardly because his nature was very soft. But one manifestation of his strength was found when Boranagar Mutt was established. Then he would always come forward to do jobs that required physical strength, such as scoring out cooking with utensils. There were no servants at the time. At the Baranagar Mutt, all lived in an abject poverty. Some days they had food, some days they had none. In those days, when all remained immersed in meditation or singing, Sharat Maharaj would always be at the bedside of any brother monk who fell sick. Even later on, when the children of the Master were moving about in tirthas or places of pilgrimage and important places of sadhana, being inspired by intense renunciation, this spirit of service remained intact in him in those days. If any child of the Master fell ill at Rishikesh or elsewhere, Sharat Maharaj ignored his own spiritual practices and engaged himself in service. I have traveled all over India with only one cloth, said Swami Sharadananda. After Swami Yogananda passed away, the responsibility of taking care of Holy Mother fell on Swami Sharadananda. Mother's burden was not an ordinary one. It meant the entire load of her huge family. Sharat Maharaj served Mother meticulously. Always he bore the burden of Mother calmly, whether she was in Jairambati or in Kolkata. The dedication and farsightedness with which he rendered this service was remarkable. Those who used to come to Mother were not all devotees. Perhaps someone was her relative, while someone else had taken shelter with her, having none to depend on. The burden of all such persons Sharat Maharaj had accepted on his own shoulders. He himself has made the statement, even a dog or a fox of Kamarpukur or Jairambati is venerable to us. Swami Sharadananda's love and concern. But he was not indifferent to the aspirations of youngsters who went to him. That is why sometimes he would call an aged monk named Swami Purnananda. He was a doctor in his pre-monastic life, so Maharaj addressed him as doctor. He would say, Doctor, like to come? If he was in good mood, he would reply, Yes, Maharaj, coming. Otherwise, he would say, Maharaj, today I am not feeling well. If he came, the conversation would take a turn while worldly troubles were being discussed. Dr. Swami would come and start religious topics. Later on, we realized that Sharat Maharaj's sympathy was not for those alone who were spiritually thirsty, but his heart wept also for those who were burning in the fire of worldly sufferings. So he gave enough time for them. This we realized much later. But at that particular time, we failed to understand this. Moreover, he gave shelter to a band of crackpots, and for each of them, what great sympathy and pity did he have. One day he said, "Look, that old woman's insanity seems to have increased. She is not eating at all. Bring some medicine for her." Thus a number of strange persons used to come to Udbodhan, have their meal there, and behave crazily. Even among them, he was concerned about that old woman who was not eating. So that was Swami Saradananda's sympathy for the people, his detachment and humility. Another especially memorable incident revealed his detachment. After the demise of Swami Brahmananda, a new abbot was to be selected. Some said Sharat Maharaj should take up this responsibility. In fact, for all practical purposes, it is on him alone that this responsibility has been resting so long. He replied, "Swamiji had made me secretary. I shall act as secretary only. I don't want to be the president." When Swami Shivanandaji became the president, Swami Bhutesanandaji describes about his foresightedness. It was the birthday of Sarat Maharaj. All of us greatly desired to worship him with flowers, but he was sitting with such a grave countenance that none dared to go first and break his grave mood. We were all eagerly waiting at a distance for someone to start and bear the burden. At that moment, a small girl from the house of a devotee arrived there. The monks tutored her, "Go and make pranam to Maharaj," after offering this flower at his feet. The girl readily went forward and did as she was told. It was noticed that his graveness had lessened. Then all of us had the courage to go forward. He understood our trick. Surprisingly, behind that crust of graveness, what great softness, affection, and sympathy remained hidden. Only those who had reached near him by penetrating through that crust had realized this. This feeling of affection is found only in a mother to some extent, not in anybody else. But even there, to some extent only. I should say, one incident happened in my own life, says Swami Bhutesanandaji. Once I went to him to ask a question. As soon as I asked it, he remarked, "Do we have to ask me everything? Shall we live forever?" A little later he explained, "My son, try to get answers of all questions from your own inside. Remember, if you always depend on others, you won't receive answers from within yourself, and we shall not be here forever." As if he prepared us by advising us not to look towards him all the time. It was natural for us to look upon him as our refuge, but he wanted us to be self-confident. I realized he urgently desired this because they, direct disciples, were soon to leave this world. Beautiful reminiscence by Swami Bhuteshanandaji. Like Buddha taught to Ananda, when Ananda said, "You are leaving this body, how will we survive here?" Buddha said, "Atma Deepo Bhava, be an enlightened lamp unto yourself. Find answers, ways within yourself. Everything there is within you." They won't believe, Buddhists won't talk about the Purna Atman as the Purnam. There is all the knowledge is there. But still Buddha says, Atma Deepo Bhava, be full of knowledge. So manifest that knowledge. Swami Saradanandaji's humility I told. But his greatness, once Swami Turiyanandaji was sick in Varanasi. Swami Saradanandaji was visiting, the General Secretary was visiting. Seeing Swami Turiyanandaji in the bed, the big, huge, bulky body, he prostrated on the floor. Swami Saradanandaji was on the bed. Swami Turiyanandaji was on the bed. Swami Saradanandaji prostrated below. Then Turiyanandaji opened the eyes and says, "What happened?" Then he saw Sarat. He said, "Sarat, what are you doing?" Sarat said, Maharaj, we know who you are. You are the scent of the Gita. That's why I was prostrating. Then Swami Turiyanandaji said, don't I know who you are? Have I forgotten the day when you and I were walking in the forest? We lost the way, and there one bifurcation there came, fork came in the forest of the walking trail, and we thought, how will we reach village? Which path goes to village? Which path goes to deeper jungle? We didn't know. So we thought one of us will go this path, another that path, so that at least one of us reach there and then find the way out for other. So you took one path, I took another. So I took the path that came to village. Your path took you to somewhere deeper into jungle. It was already late. After a long walk, I came. When I came almost, it was morning. They said there's no way going there. It is very infested with with ferocious animals. So in the morning, after the sun rose, morning broke, then I came with the villagers to search you, and we took the path that you had taken. And you were not to be seen. After walking some distance, we saw you were sitting there. Have I forgotten that? You were sitting on a rock. It was already sun has risen. You were in deep meditation. Whole night you meditated, and there were tigers and the foxes and all beasts were there. Unafraid, you were in deep meditation. What sort of mind you have, what a Brahma Jnani you are, and you are prostrating to me? Don't I know how great spiritual person you are? Says that. Swami Turiyanandaji describes the Swami Saradanandaji, which he never told himself, Saradanandaji never told. Swami Saradanandaji, when he was in Bagbajar, in Udbodhan, after he used to go daytime, and after everybody took rest, he used to go somewhere. Somebody thought, where he goes? Daytime, everybody is resting. So one brahmachari thought, let me see where he goes, and started walking behind him. Swami Saradanandaji went through, walked a lot, and went to a street, and went to a person's knocked the door, went inside, and one person was like on the bed, coughing. He had TB. Nobody was looking after him. This general secretary of the Ramakrishna order, himself he came without disturbing others, went inside, sat on his bed, touched his body, and that person offered him fruit, because he was not aware that how much infection it is. Saradanandaji ate that fruit that was offered by the TB patient, and TB is so infectious. And this person who was trying to know, when Saradanandaji came out of the place of that person, he fell at his feet and says, Maharaj, please forgive me. I was just curious where you go. Daytime when everybody is sleeping, resting. That was no fear. That's what the Vita Raga Bhaya Krodha. Bhaya, that Vita, we got the example in the boat riding, when the storm was there, no fear of death even. And this bhaya, no fear of anything. There was, this is no Vita Raga Bhaya Krodha, this raga, there is no attachment also, and no fear of this thing, taking care of everyone. So that was Swami Saradanandaji. This is not even the closest devotee, some never. And that's how he used to take care. Sometimes he used to go in the street, which was very narrow street. He couldn't walk even straight. He would walk side by, and still he would reach to the person who was sick. He used to keep money of the students, and just so that they don't overspend, they had come to Calcutta from villages, and general secretary. And he used to keep everybody's account, how much money they take. Don't spend all money. You have few money left, and you have to study in Calcutta. They keep their account and supply them whatever they had, little. Become the bank of those persons. So that was Swami Saradananda. Tremendous love, tremendous resilience, and that type of fearlessness that Swami Saradananda exhibited in his life. And his blessing is always upon us. I invoke his blessing to us. May we also be, by the blessing of Thakur Maha Swamiji and Swami Saradanandaji, become established in the knowledge of non-duality, so that we can love everyone without any distinction, without any judgment, and become so large-hearted and feel that we are all one, that it is my own self, my own Atman, my own self that appears as this universe, as the living beings, as all human beings, all are my own self appearing as this multiplicity, multifarious, multiformed universe. Thank you very much.